On the England Abroad, we spend the first 7 weeks studying in England, and then we return home to Principia College, where we rehearse for 7 weeks a play called Pericles.
When we first got to England, we focused mostly on the English studies part of it and the intellectual part. We researched at a bunch of different places depending on where we were visiting.
The first week that we spent in London, we spent about the first 5 or so days doing research about one of our characters in the British Library. So I had to go through old manuscripts and books to see how my character would have lived in Shakespeare's time. In Stratford, we started doing research into how our character has been portrayed throughout history.
There's some journals from people that lived in Shakespeare's time that are writing about how people lived, how people act, and to get to see those books and hold them in your hand. You're holding history, you know, so it's amazing. We saw so much theater. We got to go to the RSC, which is the Royal Shakespeare Company, and we got to actually have question and answer sessions with the actors that we saw on stage. So that was pretty amazing.
Being in England, I think the thing that helped me the most in preparing for this show was the fact that I got to watch other actors perform and actually talk to some of them. It was really cool, just like meeting this guy. You see like, oh my gosh, he's so amazing, and you get a chance to actually talk to him and get his perspective on acting. I feel like that's like an actor's dream, so that was perfect.
When we were at places like the Globe and the Royal Shakespeare Company, we met with different instructors who work professionally with the actors on voice and on movement. And so we were able to see firsthand the different exercises that they're doing from these people who have trained in helping people be able to speak the text properly.
In terms of preparation, since we've been back on campus, we've been doing analysis of Shakespeare's Pericles text and digging deeper into who our characters actually are, why they have these certain lines, and what we're actually saying. Besides just this intellectual analysis, we've been in rehearsal exploring our characters physically. How might they walk? How might they run? How would you just stand there? How would you sit?
We go into rehearsals at night, which is something that we weren't doing in England because we were just gathering all this information to then put into our show. Pericles is a romance, so it's kind of a combination between a comedy and a tragedy, and it ends happily, so that's what makes it the romance. And I'll be performing it on November 17th through November 19th for the community.